Hi, I'm Sarah Jane from sarahjanefarrell.com. For those of you that don't know me, I help animals and people really take a leap of trust so that they can make sense of challenging situations like grief or betrayal or loss. And trust is one of those things that changes everything because without trust, we have no reason to live. And yet, the one question that my clients ask me underneath their fear of loss, of a loved one, of community, of money, of things, is really a deep longing to trust themselves, to trust that they are taken care of, that everything is happening for them, and that there is actually nothing to lose. There is so much grief and suffering around a lack of faith and trust in our abilities. And I believe it happens because we think that the pain will never end, that we're never going to see the light of day, so to speak, to return to trust. And to do that, we have to sit with pain. We can't run from it. It has to be felt. It's not something that we can change or fix from our minds. And our lack of trust is actually what's creating the confusion and the isolation and the lack of connection and actually a blatant disregard for the process of life, which is what actually causes us to act against our true nature and go into self-sabotage. And I believe that never in the history of humanity have we been so far from human kindness, so disconnected from trusting ourselves, from trusting our bodies' innate ability to heal, trusting our spirituality, our faith in other people, trusting our own intuition, and trusting our feelings, and knowing that they'll heal us and guide us back into our personal power and our authentic truth. I really believe that we've reached a tipping point in humanity where people are literally dying to trust again, to return to a loving community or herd, and to trust that others will take care of us and that we will take care of them. Animals in nature are constantly reminding us that each of us represents the microcosm of the whole world in which we live, where right now anger and fear and our very separation from nature, from our hearts, from nature itself is killing the planet. And we've become so disconnected with our true nature. We're living from our heads, not our hearts. We're addicted to fear and lack and of being alone. And we've lost our faith and our ability to return to our hearts and trust ourselves. All we have to do is really turn on the news or scroll in Facebook to see how much trauma and cruelty and destruction of natural resources and how much pain is being inflicted on people and animals and the planet. We're constantly being bombarded by information that keeps us in fear and in our insecurity about our future, and also our own experiences and stories of why we can't trust ourselves, why we can't trust other people or governments or financial institutions or nature herself. And here's the thing, when everything falls away, when people and animals and things leave us, one tiny little piece over time, what I have learned is that the one thing I can trust is myself, that I have to hold myself, that I was actually born into this world trusting just as you were, trusting that your needs were going to be met, trusting that you came in here to be happy, you came in here to give something back. And even if you can't believe that right now, just remember that you can't really ever lose yourself. So if you're finding yourself asking, why can't I trust myself? Why can't I trust other people? I invite you to look at where you're trying to control everything rather than feel the pain, feel the trauma, feel the loss, and just let it unravel. Be witness to the fear as the resistance to what you actually want, because that will give you peace of mind. Just trust and allow that to come into your life. Choose to see it differently just by naming it. Anaïs Nin says that we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. So if you see everything with the eyes of suspicion or trust or cynicism, you're going to find yourself with people and in situations that are not trustworthy. And you'll prove to yourself that you're right to trust nothing and close your heart. So how do we return to trust? We simply have to trust that we're connected to something that is greater than us. Because without trust, we have no peace of mind. And it's the one thing that changes everything for people and animals. And it all begins with faith and trust. They're intrinsically interconnected to each other. And if we're willing to start to see things differently, healing will come. Trust will be there in the people and the experiences that you're asking to have show up for you. But you have to be willing to show up first and say yes. Trust that life is wonderful, because then it will bring you what you need when you need it, even if you don't know that you're needing it. You know, when my life fell apart, I thought the pain would never end. And it's not something that I ever imagined happening to me, but it did again and again and again. One circumstance, one betrayal, one shattered dream, one broken promise at a time. Trauma is never in one event. It's really in the accumulation of mistakes, of the bad choices, of the denial or the refusal to really see things as it is, as something that we need to grow from and do something different. And I know now that life had to fall apart for me, for something greater to come in. And I know it's painful to endure. It's even more painful for your loved ones to watch. But relieving pain, just like building trust, it is only when you've been broken down, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, when you choose to stand up and keep moving forward, that you can truly know the true meaning of value in trust. Stop putting your attention on things that you think is going to cause you pain. Stop believing that you're going to lose something, and just trust yourself that through moving one step at a time through daily challenges, you have the resilience. And there is something greater for you on the other side of pain. You've already moved through things that you thought you were never going to survive. And you will come through whatever is showing up for you now that is challenging you, that is bringing you back into alignment with your soul's calling. Trust that it's there to support you. Hold yourself within yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, just trust that by owning your own healthy self-esteem, that you are trustworthy, that you are compassionate, that you are healthy, that you are forgiving, that you are a loving, generous person, only you are going to know when you've been kind to yourself or to other people. Only you will know when you have been impeccable with your words to yourself and to others. So value those moments of who you are and who you're becoming, moment to moment, as you deepen into trust. Nobody can tell you to trust yourself. Only you get to do that by believing in yourself and growing in your trust of yourself and your process. Trust that you are divinely guided and supported. Have faith in a higher source, whether you call it universe or God. Look within, not towards what's convenient to your ego, because your spirit cares about alignment, aligning you to trust that life works for you, and in trusting you working for life. There is a plan that's greater than the limitation of your mind. You are energy in motion. You are love. You are trust. And you are so supported. And life is a process to grow us into our greatest potential. So please just trust that you're enough, exactly where you are. Trust in life. Because when you trust in life, you lead yourself to cooperation over competition, which is really fading very quickly as these old structures crumble in the presence of more sustainable ways to live together and love together and build trust together and to grow together into a sustainable future. You hold a thread that's unique to you, and together we get to weave a new web of consciousness that is built on trust and faith and compassion and love and the greatness of everything that you are and everything that is exactly as it needs to be. So trust that and know that you are so loved and that the world is waiting for you and what only you came to give the world.